Hello, I'm the founding director of the Cardstack Project. My name is Chris C, coming to you from the land of the Web3. Today, I'm going to give you a brief update on the work that we're doing on Cardspace, which is our no-code web builder for the decentralized era of the web. And we have spent a lot of time thinking about how to make this the most powerful tool that we can think of, yet retaining the same ease of use that people love with drag-and-drop builder, whether it's in the Web 1.0 era or Web 2.0 era on some of the social network. It's very, very easy to put something very sophisticated together on the web. Now, with that being said, as the decentralized web gained more attention with the recent rise of NFT, people are asking, like, can I do NFT on WordPress? And the answer is probably not, because Web3, the decentralized web, requires a whole new set of tools, and that requires a lot of deep technology that Cardstack's working on our application framework, on the protocol, on wallets. These are things that I think is table stakes in building for that Web3 or decentralized web era. With that being said, we can't get users to use any of these tools if they're not as easy, if not easier to use than the current counterpart that exists in the Web 2 space. So let's jump right in. So the inspiration of Cardspace really comes from the reality that we have today, which is that the world's creative input and output, text, images, audio, video, media, 3Ds are all basically intermediated by a set of names that you probably recognize, the Google, the Amazon, the Apple, and all of these companies essentially sit in between the audiences and the creator. So the creator puts these work out there through the different platforms, whether it's 3Ds or Snapchat or Google or AI or Twitch or whatever it might be, and the audience in return, hopefully, have some of their attention absorbed into this ecosystem, and then some small portion of that money trickles back down, monetized through advertising, whatever it might be. So purchases, subscription, ad revenue, donation, royalties, license fee, commissions, and IP sale. These are the things that we hope to be able to bring to the users. However, the truth is, these monetization channel as it exists on the web today is really not owned by the creator. This is something that is in the middle, owned by these big platforms that are having the field day, making money, going public. And what happens is a void in the middle of, how do you actually connect in a more authentic and more complete way these set of commercial opportunities on the bottom and the thing on the top. At this moment, you probably wonder, is this talk about NFT again? And the truth is, if you want to, watch me talk about NFT, about what it is and what's inside and what are the components, go check out this video that I gave last week. But no, this talk is not really about NFT, because NFT currently is really just about purchasing some sort of right that you own, that you say you have a token, you collect it, and it's kind of like a signature. It's an autographed signature of a photo. You do not own the photo. You can't put it on the Wheaties box, but you do have autographed photos of your favorite person. Could be, LeBron James, or could be Bruno Mars. It doesn't really matter. But it really isn't the complete picture of all the ways you can own. So this is not really about NFTs. What it's really about is recognizing there's two types of things that people want to do in the world. One is to create this new type of forms where people express themselves through images, audio, video, mixed media, AI, things that we haven't thought about. And then being able to commercialize those things so that we want to get to the world where every single thing that you create as a creator has an embedded commercial terms. And that, at the end of the day, is what Cardstack is trying to do. We're trying to create embedded terms where the cards that represent what people are trying to make, right? Their medium, their media, and what they're trying to monetize, the deals, the offers, and maybe the call to action to participate are stored in what we call a card catalog. A card catalog is a product we're working on. We're not only working on it just from the UI to make it a searchable catalog, which is, I guess, pretty cool, but we're building a fundamental way of assembling software so that these card catalogs are actually mini applications that users can assemble them. Now, the question is, how do they assemble them? So what we want to do is to create a space where these tools, whether it's commercial deals, cards, or media cards, can be embedded together into this layout. And this layout is a web. It's part of something that you control, and it's kind of like the WordPress of the decentralized web era. And you can take that basic thing and host it, distribute it, archive it, and make it happen. So today we're going to spend some time talking about Cardspace and showing you some of the work in progress of how we brought the voxel design system, which is our way of creating a no-code experience that's blended to the end user experience, and show you how that works across different use cases of both the creation and the distribution of a Cardspace, which is your little slice of the decentralized web. So let's jump right in. So the first thing you see here in this Cardspace kind of page is that amazing Emily went ahead and made a Cardspace, linked to the current social media entity so that she's able to connect her Web3 identity with the Web2 identity. And she's featuring something about links that she has want to feature, like Linktree, some of these link aggregator, but more importantly, some of the media actually living in this space. So this is a very simple, somewhat kind of a sample space that you can create. But what's interesting about this is that this space does not have a login button. Instead, you connect to a wallet. So you can say, hey, I want to connect this to a wallet. And then you have to then scan a QR code. This is called Wallet Connect, a standard that's emerging in the decentralized web Ethereum space, where when you do that, we do something magical, which is that we summon what we call the edges. We're now in an experience where you are inside this particular builder tool. So you're basically like going to a game, start playing, and then level up, and suddenly the tools to modify this environment is built in. You don't have to go somewhere else. There's no app to install. There's no admin panel to go to. There's no tab to go to. You're actually going to modify the site you saw, your customer on your visitor saw right there. That's what we call summoning edges, bringing the tools in there. And that allows you to inspect the card. So you can now go around and say, hey, these elements that was on this space is actually completely configurable. We actually load the configuration of those cards directly onto the page. And not only are cards configurable, each field within this cards are actually cards themselves. They're like a nested structure. So you can go ahead and change, layout things like border colors and corner radius, but this is also the same exact tools that you go ahead and modify prices or change the terms or look at, oh, only people who own one of my NFTs I issued last week can see this thing. That's all configured through these inspection tools that we overlay and bring into the card itself. Now, what's really cool about this is because card is actually built on this application framework, the structure of these layouts are actually controlled by a schema. So that's basically saying that there is a very formal or maybe semi-formal structure that we maintain. So you can, if you rearrange almost like a table of content and of your book, and then your book or your thing just comes out the right way. So with this idea of a playlist where these elements, different embedded elements are all basically a part of the structure that you can modify, not only rearranging and dragging back and forth as you can see it, and but you can also change the nature of it, change the nesting relationship to construct and see immediately how this is looking to yourself or to your visitors. But there's something a little bit deeper than that, which is that this is a website, so you can change the layout. So this outermost layer, which is what we call a layout card, actually exists as a container, almost like a pasteboard, where you can actually bring and add and remove different things that's been added to this layout. If you don't like this audio player in this way, I mean, you can't change your profile, it's always gonna be there, but you can say, hey, this is such a representative aspect. Living a mindful life is what I wanna do. I wanna drag it to this side and be part of this persistent navigation no matter where you're on the site. And that idea of this layout card allows you to arrange anything that you want, regardless of what type of card it is. And that's the amazing thing about Cardstack, is that once something is made into a card, a layout card knows how to put it. The same way once you have a file on your file system, your Finder or your Explorer know how to display it. In this case, you can actually place it exactly where you want, and you might have other template that will put it in more of a dashboard format, some other template that's more like a blog post, like a medium blog post. These are all just different type of layouts that you can choose to then bring these things in there. So you can rearrange it within the tool. Now, if you were to say, hey, I actually want to add something to it, let's say I want to add another audio player, actually bring something that is something I just made or something like that. You can use the card catalog, which is basically a template gallery of different cards that is available, submitted to the open source catalog. And you can just say, hey, I want to use the audio player card, which is a template, insert my own media from my desktop or insert something I've created yesterday, and then drag that audio player on the card. And now I've created a unique set of new capability from this set of kind of catalog, which is a possibility space. Notice here, there's a little diamond here. NFTs could be another type of card. And that card will have a little bit more than just what media and what file. It may have a price. It may have a deal. It may be related to a set of membership that you only want to give people who have been a patron of yours for the last year before they have an opportunity to buy within those first 30 days. These are all configuration you can do straight directly with the properties and inspection tools on the card space. So while this particular version we're showing you is just showing you the layout capability, how this feels, the depth of the Cardstack framework and the technology infrastructure we built means that we can extend the same look and feel and the same interaction to something really sophisticated, where each one of these building blocks are indeed entire card that has this embedded commercial term that you can inspect and link and configure using the same tools that hopefully you've learned by this point. So if you want to see how this space looks to your user, you can just click on Enter Preview Mode right here. And if you do that, all the chrome, all the additional voxel decoration, all the seams, all the highlights go away. You can just see the site as it's being done. And that's really what we want to accomplish, right? On one hand, you've got the Facebook or the Web 2 era, where they have a very templatized experience of your page or your profile page or your newsfeed, where you have to fit your creativity within these building blocks they already created for you. You got to make a post, or it could be an event, could be a birthday notice, but that's it. On the other hand, you can also make any website you want with WordPress or hire a developer to go and build a custom theme. And the problem of those things is that, yeah, you have a lot of flexibility, but it's incredibly hard to change. If you want to add a capability, you want NFT, you want member-gated access, it's a huge undertaking, because it's the template, the idea that these things are modules, like what we have shown here, really helps you hone in what tools necessary to go and modify that stuff. So we want to give people the ability to be creative in terms of laying out the space, but still benefit from a set of template instead of pre-built no-code capability that you get from the social network. But in case of this time, it's actually completely based on an open source stack and can be extended by you, by a developer you hire, or a network developer in the Cardstack ecosystem, adding capability, adding AI-generated media, creating new type of mixed media NFTs, creating new types of voting modules or support or donation modules, or even GoFundMe type of competition. Who knows? Whatever you can do in the decentralized web with the wallet, we can create a UI here, and people can choose in their space, or in their business space or personal space, what type of tools they want to feature. And then that's what happens. You create these different slices of the decentralized web. We make a little catalog here. You can find the love coach, and you can find someone who is going to be a music person. And then you can find other things that have maybe even templates or recipes. These are all things that can be created in this decentralized web, where the data and content is owned by the creator. They can back it up on their hard drive if they want to on a USB stick. They will never be deplatformed. Now, Cardspace is a hosted service, the same way you can start out making a page from your GoDaddy account and later on migrate to your own server when you're ready to manage infrastructure. Same thing here. Cardspace is the easiest on-ramp for people to just create an account. Obviously, you need a Web3 wallet, so you need to download an app that has balances and tokens so you can pay for services and buy a service from each other. And that's just getting people ready to be a full participant in Web3 with an Ethereum wallet in the back pocket, so to speak. But once you have that step, everything else works very similarly as what you would expect from a top-notch AAA type of builder experience. And as we mentioned in previous talks, Cardspace is one of 4 tools that users are gonna look into. So for Cardspace, it's really about building and hosting. So if you want to participate in all the really exciting thing in the crypto space, or even if you just want to use crypto tools to replace something you're already doing, building a community, building a way to gate access to people who have been big supporters of you can use Cardspace, and we'll add more and more tools to allow you to configure this in a way that is much more natural than you try to force feed a Web 2.0 tool that doesn't really want to play in Web 3. We are built on top of that infrastructure from scratch. CardPay, if you start thinking about commerce, start thinking about selling your own thing, selling subscription and access, you can become a merchant and set up an account, have a place to retrieve that thing, and then we would deal with, as part of the CardPay network, or the fiat on-ramp, getting Apple Pay integrated with your site. That's part of that whole offering. For the card catalog, if you are just a person looking to, hey, what can I build with cards? You may find a new booking module to book an hour of your time in return for an NFT or whatever it might be. You can go ahead and look in the card catalog. Now, developers, if you're interested in building a mini app that can be dragged and dropped the same way I show you in the audio player, and you want to do some really advanced kind of like sound effect type of meme generator, you could go ahead and publish your creation into the card catalog as well, which is basically just a subset of the NPM catalog. So card catalog underneath it is just a JavaScript module registry. We have a token curated list of the approved ones so that people can drag it directly. If you were to publish something and you haven't gone through the community review process, you can sideload it with some kind of warning messages. But our goal here is to have a curated catalog that's very safe for people regular users to bring new capability and choose new tools that they bring to their space and use right away. And some of those tools are gonna have NFT capability, or some of them in the future may have DAO capability, which means people can use it to vote for something, maybe a ballot in support, or maybe a way of doing a Ricardian contract where certain terms that you're creating within the forms that you just saw actually generate a legal agreement or generate an on-chain smart contract. So Card Creator is a way for you to make new cards that has real functionality, not just layout and not just media, but actually a configured application, almost like a configured SaaS application, but you can combine together within your card space. Now, obviously, you can also have your own administrative dashboard. We'll talk more about that, about the Cardstack environment for administrator, but we're now focusing mostly on making sure that people understand what card space is, something that is most user-facing, the easiest to use, and is one of those things that we're really proud of, because to make Cardspace really easy to use, we needed to make the voxel design system, which is all the ways we decorate and contain and provide gestures and motion and animation. These are all ways to make a space feel as alive as possible. So our inspiration for Cardspace is from multiplayer games, where you go into a space, where it's the Sims or Fortnite, where you feel like you can modify this world, you can bring people into this world. This game is not static. It's not something that you can only linear and play through something until the end and you get a little cutscene. It's actually something you can co-create. So using Cardspace as the tool, we want people to build multiplayer environment. It's backed by Web3. It doesn't need to be 3D. It can be, but it doesn't need to be. What it needs to be is a competent and credible alternative to the logo we showed earlier on the sides of all the platforms who are looking at extracting every audio you share, Spotify want to cut for it. Every video you share, YouTube want to monetize it. Sometimes taking more than 50% if you're a new creator. You'd be happy to get any slice of it. If we can provide an open source toolkit and a hosting platform, and a decentralized one, where not only does Cardstack, the organization and the foundation, provide a starting point, we want different hosting provider, different country to come together and compete for service, the same way WordPress host that hosts WordPress professionally competes for the same service for people who've chosen the open source platform of WordPress. So I hope this was a helpful way to give you a sense of what we're working on at Cardstack, the different tools. And I really want to invite users to give us feedback about different design affordances as we not only get the system in place, but also add new tools and new affordances, so we can make this truly a super powerful system for people to create the type of decentralized application they can imagine, but not feeling that they need to actually get a developer to make this happen. And as we think about the mass market adoption of crypto and Web3 technology, making it easier is absolutely the rite of passage for us to get to the promised land where people find credible alternative to Web2 and find themselves, find each other, and build new communities and interaction and value, and more importantly, potential for economic relationship and payment and merchant workflow where they can be self-sovereign, they can make the money that's been owed to them, they can really connect with their audience and create the type of vibrant ecosystem that we can imagine. And I hope that Cardstack can be a part of that by providing the greatest user interface innovation, hopefully have been seen in a long time, to combine all of the elements that we see in Web2 into one open source tool that we're going to collaborate on. We're going to cooperatively build up an ecosystem that we can be proud of to build our new space and our new community. Thank you so much, and we'll chat again soon.